Hello everyone, welcome back to another Train Sim World 6 video. Today we are joined by Josh, the Melbourne train guy.
G'day, g'day.
And today we are doing a race on the Maintalbahn route. I am taking the Verkehrsrot, or Traffic Red, Deutsche Bahn BR628 from Maintalbahn, while Melbourne train guy is taking the BR612 from Taranto Ramp, Dresden to Chemnitz. So we're doing service RB88 23311 Aschaffenburg Hauptbahnhof to Miltenberg. So let's get started. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Let's get the train set up.
I always need to remember that I have to put my reverser in before I touch anything, otherwise the train doesn't set up correctly. That has bit me so many times.
Yeah. I've never actually gotten the BR612. I've never gotten to Taranto Ramp. Oh, forgot to unlock the doors.
It's not a bad route. I think when I first got it, because it's not the first German route that I purchased, and I've had a lot of newer ones before this one, so I kind of, at first I was being a little bit mean, and I didn't think it was a good route. It's it's TOD 2, I believe, so it's not it's not as shiny as the new ones are, but I think it's a bit of a good route.
Okay. Might have to pick it up.
Well, I'm probably going to talk a bit about it as we drive, even though we're on the Maintalbahn.
Yeah.
I do like it.
Fun fact, I believe it was when DC4260 Productions did his review on the Dresden Chemnitz that he said that the 612 doesn't even run on Maintalbahn in real life, yet it does have a substitution on Maintalbahn, so...
That is interesting. Well, I certainly don't know where any of these trains run in real life. I have never been to Germany.
I want to
That's
go.
an interesting one.
Yeah.
I would love to go to Germany, to be honest. It seems like a really cool place. Much like for the reason I'd like to go to Edinburgh, there seems to be a lot of really cool historical looking buildings, like really old castles and things like that.
Oh.
Doors closed. Housekeeping is done.
You should probably... Don't forget the safeties and also zooming out the map, i.e. housekeeping.
I kind of do that by force of habit, but that is a very good point to bring up there, Mav. Housekeeping is one of those things where it doesn't matter terrifically if you're on a PC. It can, depending on how beefy your PC is, but
it's not beefy at all. I want to get a beefier PC, but prices are through the roof these days. It would cost me 2,000 Australian dollars easy if I wanted to get a PC with decent specifications.
I've heard that. I've also heard that apparently right at the minute RAM pricing is quite terrible.
Yeah, I believe my brother Joel was actually looking at RAM prices since he wants to get a new machine, and he looked at RAM. It used to cost 25,000 Japanese yen. Now it costs 90,000 for the same stick of RAM, which is like, think of 100 Japanese yen to $1 Australian dollar is a decent conversion.
That's well, I had to fight my natural instinct to use an expletive there, because that is quite outrageous.
It is
quite outrageous indeed.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the things that I really do enjoy about being a console player, is that I'm relatively unaffected by these things, unless of course Sony decide to release a brand new PlayStation tomorrow, in which case I might be a little bit in trouble.
Yeah, but would TSW transfer over to that new console on day one? We don't know.
Well, this is the thing that I actually do need to that's a weird way of saying it. I genuinely need to think about with some seriousness is as we approach, well, the time when one would expect Train Sim World next number, am I going to be able to play it on a new console if that new console is available?
Yeah.
I've only had the PlayStation 5 for 7 months, so I genuinely don't know if I would, well, all of the things at once. Had CIFA and a PZB right there at the same time. I don't know if I would actually upgrade to a PlayStation 7, like, straight away.
Well, PlayStation 6. It's currently on 5.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, PlayStation 6. I'm skipping a number there, my days.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Train Sim World 7. Oh my days.
Train Sim World 7 is basically a given at this point, but I'm beginning to wonder about the future viability of the franchise, because Dovetail Games seems to have been taking a back foot on DLC development. They've only got one route and one locomotive in development, and the vast majority of planned content is third party. And they seem to be focusing on Metro rivals, so...
Well, I mean, isn't that what they do with Train Sim Classic? It's pretty much they just manage the core game and all of the third parties.
Yeah, you're right.
Do everything else. I don't necessarily think it has to be a bad thing straight away. Well, that's a bit of an undershoot there.
I think
Terrible.
You're right.
It could very well just be that with all of the attention and all of the focus being on getting the core game and getting all of the other DLC to just, for lack of another word to use, I'll say stable. And it's purely because I can't think of a better word to use.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where they're spending the time, and one could argue that's correct or incorrect, but I mean, we've got so many third-party developers, not as a bad thing, but just as a matter of fact, we do. I think we're going to be pretty spoiled for content for some time.
Oh yeah, and the stuff that's coming up. Holy moly, there is some insane stuff that we're getting. Maintalbahn for German Steam, Tadami for Japanese trains. We're getting a decent helping of British Railways 80s content thanks to Just Trains and Crew to Preston and Covering Coast.
Absolutely. And then, of course, don't forget we've also got the Medway Valley, we've got the Trent Valley. So even the modern UK fans are getting, well, I would still say treated. Those are some... What is going on? My train is not working.
Oh no.
Yeah, it just lost power for like no reason. What is going on here?
Does it have a... No! PZB emergency brake. Dang it! Oh,
Release
that's
the brakes.
Well,
okay, no, I think I figured it out. I tried to depart with some brakes still applied, and the traction motors freaked out.
Oh no. Well, I
just
had a PZB emergency brake application, so
oh no,
we're both in the same boat.
Oh Oops. No! At least with the 628, I want to say.
Yeah, that's the 628. That's the one I'm in.
Yeah, at least with the 628, it's not terrifically difficult to recover from PZB or CIFA. Some of these, the 612 is not terrifically hard either, but some of the new modern trains or the newer trains, very, very complicated.
Yeah. The 642 is also that comes with Maintalbahn is also decently easy to use as well. It has just a simple 0 to 100% throttle.
Yeah, I don't say this about many trains, but I don't really like that one, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. It's a bit weird looking, and it's also too easy to drive. I prefer a challenge. Somewhat of a challenge.
I would say it's easy to drive, but it's also challenging, but not in the good way challenging. If you play with a controller, there's a solid delay in pressing acknowledge for CIFA and PZB, and you can acknowledge PZB exactly as it pops up and still get a penalty brake because the delay doesn't register your input. Yeah,
I hate
so
that.
it's challenging, but not in the good way.
Oh, yeah. Release PZB there. Yeah. You know what I wish layered onto Maintalbahn? The BR204 that Rivet Games made from Mainspessartbahn. Since a large chunk of this route is actually recycled from Mainspessart, it would make sense that the 204 layered on, but it doesn't, and I don't know why.
The 204, is that one of the little shunting engines? Oh, hello.
Yeah, it is.
Two-car unit departing, lovely.
Yeah. I think I'm slightly ahead of you, so I can wait for a minute if you're...
No. If you are... I've just gotten myself to a Schaffenberg Sud. If you are ahead of me, by all means, it is a race.
Yeah. I cannot afford to be a gentleman in this situation.
No, it's a race. The race is in fact on. I was under PZB monitoring out of the main station there, so I had to go 45, and then it certainly didn't help forgetting to drop my brakes.
Yeah, okay. Next stop, Obernau. Right.
I really like the 612. I know I say this every time. Well, I've only done 2 videos now on it, but it sounds so much like a train that I get on my local line that it's really fun.
Yeah. We need Australia or New Zealand in the game, preferably both, since we don't even have Australia in Train Sim Classic. All we have is in Trains with a Z.
I think that there is Australian content. I have heard tell that there is an Australian route floating around somewhere in the private Train Sim Classic community.
Oh.
But the creator of said route has specifically asked for it to not be shown, which is unfortunate because I think if you showed it off, people would probably support you making it for a retail release. But no, there is. It's just unfortunately only some people have ever seen it, which is sad. As for Train Sim World content, I don't think it's never going to happen. But as far as I've been able to figure out from what people have said, it's pretty much our TOCs don't want to play ball.
Yeah. Well, I've actually heard, and this is just rumor, mind you, I heard from Train Simulator Driver that there was going to be an Australian route for this game, but apparently the TOC kicked off as for some reason, and the route was finished, but it's never been released to the public.
That is sad.
That is very sad.
Genuinely sad, but that actually doesn't surprise me because we did have a private operator who was recently purchased by, I don't know the finer details, but I believe it was one of the larger US operators.
Oh.
So one of the freight ones. As for Metro Trains Melbourne or New South Wales Trains Transperth, those are government. So it's not out of the question. As far as I understand it, those are private or government. Not private, sorry. They're all under the umbrella of everything. If you trace it all back, it's the government.
Okay.
So it's doable, but I think it's what's the word I'm trying to look for here? I think it has to be presented in the right way. I think the fact of, hey, we to dumb it down, hey, we're a video game maker and we'd like to put your route here, your network in our video game, please. Probably Dovetail would do a better job of it than I just did. But I don't think that's the way of selling it to a government organisation. I think you need to come at it a different way.
Yeah.
But then also, there's a lot of other hurrah that comes into it when you talk about governments. They worry about things that maybe they shouldn't need to worry so much about.
Yeah. But to do the flip side of that is apparently Dovetail actually has a really good relationship with the British Department of Transport, and that's a government organisation. So it could go both ways.
Well, see, this is it. If they've got some experience there, maybe they just need the right person to approach the licensing on the Dovetail side to come up with the right person on the on our side of it. As I understand it, Dovetail already have a license for one of our freight operators. So all they really need is the license for the Metro side of the network. And essentially, with what you've just said, potentially...
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. Potentially, we could have a route on the go. I think it's Sydney. From what I've been able to kind of put together, I'm pretty sure it's Sydney. I think Dovetail have a license for one of the freight operators on the Metro network.
Oh.
And I think they just need Sydney trains to come to the table.
That would be awesome.
As a Victorian, I say no, because we definitely need Victorian content in the game. But as an Australian, I say I don't care. I would play anything. You could make a line on Tasmania somewhere and I'd probably play that. I hunger for it.
Yeah.
Although I would love to see New Zealand come to the game.
Well, there is actually a decent New Zealand route for Train Sim Classic, the Midland Line by NZTS. However, NZTS have gone on the record and said, no, we don't want to do TSW content because that... Something about we don't want to have to sell it on console because that'll lower our margin and we're barely making money as it is, sort of thing. I
can see where they're coming from, especially with train simulating in general already being a bit of a niche market. You don't have a lot of the video games market to kind of capture. And then if you start splitting that into smaller and smaller and smaller segments, each of which take a cut along the way, Sony and Microsoft take a cut.
Yep.
And if you're already not making a lot of money, then that can hurt.
Yep.
So I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. I wish the situation was better, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I think this is one of those things where I don't think, or rather, I don't...
Excuse me.
Bless you. Dovetail, I think, acts like a bigger studio than they are, and as a consequence of that, the community expects more from them than maybe they can actually do within their means. I think that's a multifaceted problem that I'm not going to go into because we don't want to get into a rant. We want to drive some awesome trains and have fun, but
yeah.
It's one of those things where I think if they were able to negotiate a better overall kind of what's the word, royalty split with Microsoft and Sony, I think it would be better. Or even if they were able to work out some kind of deal with their developers, Dovetail, I mean, whereby Dovetail kind of sink or take some of the costs. As much as I just said Dovetail aren't a very big developer, neither are these third-party developers. They're even smaller.
Oh, yeah.
So I think
take the case of Incredible Trains, like, it's just one guy.
Yeah, that's literally just Johannes. Like, I don't think Johannes can afford to, not to assume anything, but like, I think Johannes as a developer is probably less in a position to absorb these royalty costs than, say, Dovetail Games. I'm not going to say any other developer because I don't want to potentially have people think I'm trying to pick and choose. So I'll just say DTG themselves. That they've got more than just Train Sim World. They've got a fishing game, they've got Metro Rivals coming out, they've got Train Sim Classic. I think they have a Catan game as well. Like
Catan Console Edition, correct.
There you go. And they're owned by another company too, so like they've got corporate money behind them.
Yeah,
Johannes doesn't have that.
Yeah. I agree with you. But on the flip side, a third party could do an Australian route and make it unbranded, to be fair.
Yeah, that would be kind of, I mean, I don't know how all of this side of the licensing works, so I don't know if you are able to do, you wouldn't be able to go onto the actual tracks and things like that to take, proper measurements and things of that nature, but I wonder if using things like Google Maps and publicly available satellite pictures, if you would be able to essentially just make the route, make all of the stations, make all of the rolling stock, but just not have any of the branding on anything.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. It would be cool, and I think if we're being 100% honest, I don't think Dovetail are going to be the ones to make an Australian route. It is going to have to be a third party.
Yeah. And also, there is... Yeah. And there are already developers who have done like, made proper routes without having access to the rolling stock. For example, Rivet Games with both the island lines, they couldn't get access to the stock because it was a Southwestern Rail route. Then you take and then Liberec to Starapaka, the upcoming Czech route. That's nominally a České or Czech Federal Railways route. They don't have the branding for that. Tadami line, they are having to make it unbranded because JR are very tight on the old licensing. Yeah, there's quite a few cases where people have developed routes or add-ons successfully without needing like the access which having a license would bring.
I think if we're being completely blunt and honest about it, it probably just comes down to something like, I mean, I'll put it very roughly because I'm not very poetic with my words. We know this. I think it probably comes down to all of those that are making Australian content have got themselves likely a very sweet deal with I forget the name of the company that makes trains with a Z, but I think they've got themselves a pretty good deal going. And I think based on things that have been said by developers who make Train Sim World content, and based on things that have been said publicly about those that no longer make content for Train Sim World, I kind of feel like maybe they just don't think it's worth the hassle.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I mean, Cactus Juice is probably the best example there of quite publicly expressing their displeasure with how they were treated while being a third party or a contractor for Dovetail. And as much as I think people would enjoy Australian content, it's not going to be very widely popular because it's going to be fairly similar to North American content, I think.
Or the Swiss content, to take another example.
Or the Swiss content. And if we're being honest, and I don't mean this in any kind of derogatory way, but most of the people who play Train Sim World like UK content. And then of those people, most of them, I would argue, like modern, current day UK content. PZB, that's not good.
Oh, I'm just coming into a PZB zone myself. Bam.
I'm just outside of kind of old start.
Me too. I think you've begun to catch up, I mean. Yeah, we do have a 500 hertz magnet coming up at Kleinwaldstadt.
We must be going onto a double section as we come into the station.
Yeah,
I was too busy talking, and I was like 3 kilometers over my 85 reduction, and PZB.
Oh no! Oh,
3 kilometers is 3 kilometers. German trains have two attitudes. They don't like you, or they're figuring out when they want to tell you that they don't like you. I think I just encountered the second one.
Yeah, German safety systems are unyielding. Let's just put it that way.
Can I just say though, I don't think that adopting the attitude of avoiding them for that sake is a good one. I thought that this would be a very difficult system of safeties to use for the longest time.
Me too.
But it's so fun, and getting your train from A to B without any penalty brake applications is such an accomplishment and such a feeling of joy. It almost forces you into another run, which kind of builds on that. And by the time you realize what's happened, you like German content. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I threw myself in at the end. I actually, back in the day, I when I originally got the Expert 101, I did not know how to use PZB. So I learned PZB on the Expert 101, and that was
yeah,
tough.
No, that would have been an entirely different level of
insanity.
Of pain in the buttery. Oh my days. Yeah. Insanity, yes, absolutely insanity.
But I did manage to figure it out, and now the Expert 101 is by far my favorite German train in the game.
Well, props to you, and I don't mean that in a sarcastic way either, because it's no easy task learning PZB and LZB, and then doing it in an expert simulated loco as well. That's no small task. So that's quite the accomplishment.
Yeah.
As for the quality of I'm paraphrasing, but you've said it's your favorite loco. I'm going to paraphrase and say, as for the quality of the 101. It is becoming one of my favorite locos too. Yeah. I can't say it's my favorite because I do have some other German trains I enjoy. I do quite like the 612.
Yeah.
But it's such a good train. Can I just say, the first time that I saw the windows fogging up and then turning, like the fog defogging when you turn on the window heater, it's such a small level of detail, but it's so mind-blowing when you first see it. You're like, you don't expect it, and it's just like, if you pardon my language just for this moment, holy crap, it throws you.
Yeah. And I'm expecting the Expert 145, when TSG do eventually release that, to blow the 101 out of the water in terms of quality. For what? All we know for features so far, in terms of like new expert features, are we'll be able to connect the air hoses between the locomotive and the wagon to manually operate the air cocks.
Oh,
that'll be
nice.
fun, especially on shuttle duties.
I can see the expert. What is that? 145.
145, yeah.
145. I can see that becoming my honestly becoming my favorite loco. I do really like the German freight services more than the passenger services, if I'm being honest.
I'm one for the passengers myself, but to each their own.
I don't mind a good passenger run, but there's something just satisfying about taking a Vectron or I love the Railpool 185 actually, it's my favorite variant. Just taking a good long heavy train. I've been really getting into the OBB 1116 on the Semmering run.
I like that one. That is a good look.
It's such a good train. It's such a good train.
Alright. Alright, just had a PZB going off again. Lovely.
Just cleared out of my monitoring there on my way to Oldenburg Elsenfield.
Oh, you said it's
maximum throttle.
You said Oldenburg, but it's actually Obenberg if you read it carefully.
It is. No, I do. If I actually pay attention, you are indeed correct. It is Obenberg.
Yeah.
I really do need to pay attention when I'm reading. I just glanced at it from the corner of my eye, so thank you for catching that one, Math.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. I also Maintalbahn with the Deutsche Bundesbahn BR23 steamer. That should be a lot of fun. Like finally having decent steam physics on a locomotive.
I was hoping that the physics would be at least considered to be backported to the existing Steam collection in Train Sim World. It's unfortunate that's not going to happen. Quite unfortunate, but I think while I will eventually get the route, probably not day one, purely because I don't do Steam a great deal. So it's not just for any other reason than it's a Steam route. It's not immediately appealing to me.
It'll have electric stuff on it too, according to the description. So yeah, we don't know what electric rolling stock we're getting on the route yet, but yeah.
No, I don't. It's difficult to put into. I think this is one of those moments when perhaps I don't have the right words. I think we had a similar thing when I was trying to explain my feelings on the on what's that truck game? Euro Truck
Sim, yeah. Speaking of Euro Truck Sim, I actually got a freeware mod for Euro Truck Sim that actually adds my local area in Japan into the game, which is just nuts.
Really?
Yeah,
I did see that you had a video go live, stream, sorry, and I thought, is there like a new DLC for Euro Truck Simulator? Because I didn't think that there was Japan in the game.
It's unfortunately a mod, so it won't be compatible with consoles, I don't think. But
well,
yeah,
do we actually know? Just as a random tangent, while we're talking about Euro Truck, do we actually know if we're getting mod support on the consoles or not?
We do not. The only thing that has been confirmed is that we're getting Euro Truck on the consoles. Besides that, we do not know basically anything about. How it's going to work.
Oh my days! Sorry, perfect stop.
Nice.
Perfect stop. Nice. I'm excited, and this is it's difficult to explain because I will get it and I will play it and I have no doubts that I will enjoy it. Safe to release. Let's
I actually
do that
got
now.
all the rest of the map expansions I needed, so I actually have the entire map area that's available in the game.
What? Okay, I just had an AI really struggle to get into my train there, and then instead of walking up into my train, walked down underneath the train, and then just disappeared.
Oh, lovely.
You do have to love the Train Sim World AI. They're magic. They're built different.
Yeah, that's one thing that I wish could be improved. Like, I know we're getting the core improvements to fix the blurry textures and diminishing frame rate. Oh goodness, that's a stop at 400 meters, and I just almost overshot it. Just bear in mind, for Glanzstoffwerke, it's quite an unexpectedly short stop after Obenberg.
Yeah, 1.3 kilometers. My days, I was getting ready to basically notch into 100 and go.
Yeah, thank goodness I noticed. Yeah, Euro Truck Sim. Also, one thing I'm really looking forward to is the Coaches DLC, because it'll basically change the entire map, and you'll have the option to play highway buses across the entirety of the map, including the base map and your DLCs, which is just nuts.
Well, that is interesting to me, and I think that's probably going to be more interesting to me with Euro Truck than the game we're getting on console, the bus, because I just had pointed out to me recently that the bus on console won't actually have multiplayer support.
No!
Yeah, no, they there's a little listing at the bottom of the Xbox Store not pre-order, wishlist page. Mega Simulator Gamer showed me, and it says that, yeah, we're not getting it. So,
no, that's such a shame.
It really is, because I was actually genuinely excited for a multiplayer bus game that would be fun to play, but also could potentially be some really enjoyable collaborative content with PC players, but nope.
Yeah.
It's sad. Then, of course, we've got, there's that other simulator game that just came to Xbox. The Polish one, I forget, is it?
Simrail, that's the one.
Simrail, that's it. That's
I got it, and it's
Xbox.
mind-blowingly difficult. Don't get it. If it comes to PlayStation... Oh, hello! But barriers haven't gone down on that level crossing there, and yet the lights are going. Anyway, do not... If Simrail ever comes to console, do not get it, because it is mind-blowingly difficult. And I regret getting it, honestly.
Stop. I was thinking about it for like a brief moment, and then I would say, depending on your point of view, I made the mistake or the fortunate decision to look up on YouTube, what is this game? What actually is what is it? Yeah, I don't think I would have gotten it, because it looks crazy difficult, even more so than driving German trains in Train Sim World with full safety on.
The Pendolino train included with it has functional level 1 and level 2 ETCS, and I have no idea how to work it, which is just I don't even know how it works.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, functional ETCS in a video game. I'm pretty sure Simrail is the only game to have properly pulled off ETCS on rolling stock.
That's actually really cool. The concept of in-cab signaling, and semi-computer or full computer control of a train is very intriguing to me.
Yeah, we do have ETCS on a Train Sim World train, which is the RABE 523 from S-Bahn Central Schweiz, Luzern to Zersee by Rivet Games. However, it's apparently quite
those crossings aren't down.
Yep, I had the same bug.
I think it is bugged, but the RABE, but I think that's a consequence of licensor restrictions,
right.
because I believe that's also the train that the SBB were basically, for simplicity's sake, we'll say basically they said, yeah, no, you can't simulate anything in it. They're just really scared of, for whatever reason, someone using it as a training aid to steal a train in real life.
And I think the guys who licensed the Long Island Railroad version 2 had the same issues, that had the same,
the MTA were a little bit concerned that it might be sufficient enough for someone to learn how to actually take control of one in real life.
Correct.
It's I don't know how much that happens in real life, so this could be a really dumb thing to say, but I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Yeah. I mean, if it's something that happens a great deal in real life, or is something that is a genuine worry, then okay, I can kind of be a little bit easy on it, but
yeah, it's odd.
It is odd, especially because there's a prior version in the Long Island Railroad still on Train Sim World, still in its unchanged form, that you can still play.
The Long Island Railroad version 1, yeah.
If it's that much of a concern, why do we still have that one?
Yeah.
That hasn't been altered, which would still present the same risks as you're saying you're worried about in the new one.
Yep. Yeah. Sometimes TSW license companies are just do weird, what we think is weird stuff.
Yeah, but then I guess we're not, just there's probably things businesses have to worry about that us lowly peasants never have to worry about.
Yeah.
Which I guess fair enough, especially when you're talking about liabilities and potentialities of like millions of dollars and things. I can understand being a little bit worried, but I would say, mate, yep, again, walking under the train, that's not how you're bored. Okay.
Oh dear.
No, these AI.
Yeah. If anything, I don't... At the end of the day, I just want to see an update to have them stand behind the yellow line. That just drives me nuts.
I think if I could have any one wish, if a genie popped, and this is going to be really, really weird, because there's quite a few things you could probably wish for if you had a TSW genie show up in front of you, but I would wish for the AI to get off of empty trains when they're ECS movements.
Yep.
And to not go onto the tracks, because it's really, really jarring when you compare the seeming worry over safety and the scaredness that people have over how, like, what if someone uses this train to like learn how to steal a train, but then you have AI just wander onto the tracks and get mowed over by you at 120 kilometers per hour.
Yeah. But it is what it is, I suppose. Unfortunately.
It makes for funny clips, but other than that, it's very frustrating.
Yeah. If I had a TSW genie, I'd probably wish for a Hankyu route. You've probably never heard of it. It's a private rail operator in the Osaka area of Japan, and they have really classy looking, like, purple maroon trains.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
And they operate trains to Kyoto and Kobe, which are two of the other major cities in the area. And I actually, when I was a little small one, like when I was like 3, I actually grew up like watching these in real life.
Oh.
I've ridden on them more recently as well, and having like a Hankyu route in the game, I know it will never ever ever happen, but that's like my
it would be
dream.
One of those moments where you would be able to be playing the route essentially in Train Sim World whilst also reliving or being able to genuinely like pull from actual memories of
yes, correct,
being a little tyke. That I can get behind that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a real meanie here, and I'm going to say I wouldn't wish for Australian content because I would want it done right.
Yeah.
I'm very nice when it comes... Oh, that's an overshoot. I'm really nice when it comes to Train Sim World. And yeah. I don't generally criticize a lot, but in this one instance, I think I would be... Tree Sim World. Lol. I would be probably very, very critical of any Australian content that came to the game.
Yeah. You'd be right. I think we are very lucky that we are getting a Japanese route in the game that's being done by people who are local to the area and know what they're doing. Because like they've seemed to have absolutely nailed the little details.
It looks amazing. It looks amazing, and from someone who has no knowledge of Japan, like it looks stunning, truly stunning. And I think when it comes to places like that, as much as the UK third-party developers have passion and all of the buzzwords for UK routes, I think when it comes to Japanese content or American content or anything that's not UK, you need someone local, someone who has the not just the knowledge, but also there's a different kind of passion when you're building something as opposed to something that you're looking at photos of, I feel at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can kind of tell that the US stuff's not made by people from the US. You can kind of like there's a vibe about it, if that makes sense. Those crossings aren't down.
Yeah, that does make sense. I just hope that High Iron managed to pull off the hated branch to a decent level of quality, because while I am somewhat hopeful about it, they are let's just say High Iron are not known for doing the highest quality stuff in the world.
No, and a lot of people were and potentially still are quite upset at the low effort that was put into the Santa Fe pack. I don't know enough about it to comment on the accuracy or quality of sounds and things like that, but I do know enough to say that they didn't really put effort, it seems, into making it, and that's what counts, I feel.
Yeah.
If it feels like you've just done as little as possible to make a DLC that you can get some cash, I think the fans don't like that.
Yeah.
And it feels like High Iron, at least to me, kind of took existing assets, did as little as they could to make it something different, and then sold it. And maybe also, to their discredit, did a lot of overhyping in the background, where maybe they shouldn't have.
Yeah, you're right.
We haven't seen... Sorry, go ahead.
Unfortunately, High Iron haven't really lived up to their reputation in TS Classic either. All the warning signs were already there. A lot of their stuff for TS Classic is mediocre at best, unfortunately.
Well, that's disappointing. That is disappointing. I mean, that's probably a good segue into Athena, because that's another... I'm so confused by Athena. I did a little bit of looking into it because I didn't want to be speaking incorrectly when I was saying that they were some of the former Skyhook staff, but no, apparently according to their own stuff they've said, it's some of the old Skyhook stuff, and Midland Mainline was a bit of a travesty when it first came out.
And now it's one of the best routes in the game, for me at least.
No, it's a great route, and it's not by their hand. It's definitely not by their hands. I'm disappointed, to be honest, because there was a lot of hype built when they released Isambard Kingdom Brunel. There was a lot of hype about, watch this space, ooh, these the 40 and the 45, we've got big things planned, this is just the first of many great things, everybody. And then, what are we, 3 or 4 roadmaps now, and we've heard absolutely nothing. And I think it was in fact your video recently pointed out that I thought they were the first, but no, the Birmingham Cross City Pack.
Yeah, Simtrack Studios. But Simtrack Studios, there's a bit of a different... it's a bit different with them because they're actively working on the base game, and Just Trains rely on them for all of their scenarios, so it is different. They are still busy working on TSW. Athena, however, seems to have completely vanished off the face of the earth.
That actually does change the situation in many ways, for me at least, than I originally thought, because I didn't realize that they were also making additional content for other companies and then working on Train Sim World proper, which means that it's likely, or rather that it's less likely, that this was a quick cash grab, which is exactly how Isambard Kingdom Brunel feels, because they didn't make any of the assets. They took Dovetail's trains, essentially, and Isambard's livery doesn't look too bad. It's a nice looking livery.
Yeah.
But
You're right.
If they had sold it as a livery pack, as a kind of commemorative Isambard Kingdom Brunel livery pack, I think it would have been less outrageous than, again, all of the hype over what was essentially a livery pack with very terrible scenarios.
Yeah. And also, I have the feeling Isambard Kingdom Brunel came out too early, because 47484's main stomping ground was the Great Western Main Line, like Paddington, Penzance, Bristol, all of that area in real life.
It should have
been for the Riviera. It should have been for the Riviera, but it came out too early.
I was going to say the same thing. They should have waited for Train Sim World 6, and they should have released it as a DLC for the Riviera and or the Great Western remaster.
Yeah, unfortunately that doesn't appear to have happened, and that forms a nice segue into, I wonder why we're getting the Avanti Class 805 first instead of the Great Western Express Remaster. The Great Western Express Remaster has already been done for a while.
Well, I was actually watching Hentus Rail's 900th episode stream, and he said it has a release date. He's been told what that release date is. He knows when it's coming, which means all of the ambassadors know when it's coming. There's a date. And if
the ambassadors know, that means it's coming quite soon, because
they have to make content, and they only get about a week. They only get about a week to make content.
Okay, forgive me for sounding excited,
no,
but holy moly!
full speculation mode. I think it's coming pretty quickly, and I suspect that is maybe why we had a delay in the 805, because they're trying to figure out how to do it without stealing the 805's thunder. Because let's be honest, who's really going to give two flying birds about the 805 when the remaster comes out? Everyone's going to be on the remaster. Everyone and their dog is going to be on the remaster. I think it's coming pretty quickly.
Since I do have real-life experience, a decent amount of Great Western Mainline experience, I've done the entire Reading to Paddington section IRL, and I've even gone as far as Bond Street on the Elizabeth line.
Nice.
Like, the fact that I've been waiting for this for ages. The Great Western Express was one of the first routes I ever got in TSW. And the fact that we are finally getting the remaster, just like, yes!
Yeah, no, the hype is real. Well, I don't know if I'm maybe putting more spin on what he said than what he meant, but he said it has a date. He knows what the date is. And, yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, man.
Because if you combine that with the fact that we know it's already been tested, people on the forums who are console players have already been talking about how awesome it is, timetable, this, that, and the other. Hype.
That is going to be... That is probably going to become my favorite British route from the get-go. Oh!
I think so too. I don't really know that I'll drive very much else, because it's got the HST on it, which is my favorite of, like, well, it's probably my second favorite of express passenger trains. I don't mean that in the literal sense, I mean that in the... So, anyone listening, I'm not comparing the HST to an IET.
Yeah. I like the IETs. I've ridden on an Alenia Class 800, and I think they're decent, but I do prefer the HSTs.
They are decent, and I'm very, very excited for the 802 test services.
Oh, yeah, those will be fun. Finally getting the chance to run the 802 under the wires for a decent section will be fun.
Yes, but more exciting than that is being able to run it at line speed on flat grade. Yes. The Riviera is an exceptional route, and it's a very fun drive. But the grades, they kill. You really don't get to stretch the legs until you're on your way to Exodus and David's.
And it's like a short 100-mile-an-hour section.
It's like a tiny little bit of a tease of the legs that want to run. Oh. That's what I'm excited for. Which is also, I think, what's going to be really cool about the Trent Valley, is that we're going to have essentially 108 miles of that for the 807.
Yeah, 807, 805, and Pendolino. I'm not too fussed about Trent Valley. I think, honestly, we're getting a bit too much West Coast Mainline. Hard agree. Very, very hard agree. East Coast Mainline, like Newcastle to Edinburgh or Peterborough to King's Cross would be awesome. But
I think if we got a King's Cross to Peterborough in some kind of similar way that we got the Euston Keynes to London Euston, that would be amazing, because we have the stock to do it mostly.
Yeah.
But
we would need an LNER 800, Great Northern 717, Great Northern 387. We could put the Thameslink 700 on there. Yeah, there's quite a few stuff that could layer on.
I think, well, at least I've always kind of in the back of my mind been hoping that that's why Dovetail have been so quiet, because I'm still very shocked we didn't get anything at all for Railway 200. Nothing, not even a single thing, which is odd.
Yeah, it's very odd.
It's for a train simulator game made by people in England who are themselves railway fans. What? Nothing?
Honestly,
not even a...
yeah. Honestly, they might have something cookie in the background that could be, and this is highly conjecture, we could be getting the oft-vaunted TSW successor that people keep talking about. We might not get TSW7. We might get the TSW successor, and then TSW just turns into Train Sim World with no number, like Train Sim Classic did.
That would be really cool, because I think just dropping the number is probably the smartest thing that Dovetail could do at this point, because I think the number going up every year really just frustrates people. Like, for the sake of why does the number need to go higher? I understand the business reason. A new game puts them at the top of the lists and all of that, and that's a good business decision.
Yeah.
But like as a player, it's really frustrating.
Yep.
And I would argue as a player, I don't really need to give two hoots about any of the business decisions. I only need to care about the game.
Yeah.
And the number going up each year, meaning I need to re-download all of my DLC each year, meaning that there's new bugs that I encounter because the number had to go up. That's frustrating.
And as a PC player, it breaks your mods as well. Most of them.
Yeah, which would be especially frustrating because a lot of time and effort goes into curating those and getting them installed right and making sure that they all work.
Like the on-track simulation 2019 timetable for West Coast Mainline South, just to take one random example.
The horn on this train is terrible. Sorry, just randomly. Lock the doors. I'm
on the home stretch to Miltonburg, by the way.
I am also just departing the station before Miltonburg, so I'm on my way there now.
All right, full throttle it is then.
I can't quite full throttle. I got pinged by 500 hertz, so I need to wait for...
you need to wait until releases. Yeah.
You gotta give me that release. Come on, PZB. I want my full release. But
the Maintalbahn scenery, I must say, has not aged well.
No, This is kind of, if it helps you, because I've just realised I've not actually said two hoots about the Tyrande ramp. This is kind of the vibe of the Tyrande ramp. If you picture this kind of scenery and this kind of lighting, but then make the grades constantly up or down like 2%. Penalty.
Oh no! I think I'm
it.
gonna take the win here.
I think you might.
Not to dunk on.
No.
Not to be smug or anything like that.
I think it was a very close race.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do a Jeremy Clarkson or anything like that. Don't worry.
Let me see if I can prematurely release myself. Sometimes the trains let you do this.
Yeah, hit the P's and B override with the delete key, see if that works.
Ooh, I think it might have, but PZB help. The lights have stopped flashing, but PZB helper is still telling me to stay below 24.
Oh, maybe I don't know.
I'm gonna follow PZB helper because another penalty break is basically going to secure your victory.
Well, I'm only a kilometer away, so.
Oh, you've won, definitely. I'm at 3 kilometers out. The only way I could win this is to turn off safeties and just go for gold.
Yeah.
There goes PZB. Let's go. Full power.
Yeah. I'm just coming across the little bridge into Miltonburg. Yeah. Yeah, the future is bright for TSW. Like, Dovetail seem to be finally taking the core game issues in hand and trying to fix them. They're being much more transparent than they used to be thanks to the Discord Q&As that they've been doing. The third-party scene is cooking off. Like,
absolutely.
Holy.
Can I just say, though, I think really what's kind of kicked all of this off, and I think not enough credit goes to where it should maybe, and that's Firefly, and actually figuring out what the issue was with the textures and the streaming pool.
Yes, I'd forgotten about that.
If they hadn't figured that out, Dovetail could have done none of what they were doing because they certainly hadn't figured out what was going on.
Yeah.
Not to be mean, but like Firefly, W in the chat for Firefly, they figured it out. And thanks to them, we now know what the deal is. So the future is looking bright. I think Train Sim World, I mean, really, it's Dovetail's thing to screw up at this point. No, not a penalty. No.
Oh no. Ooh.
Oh, just.
Hello, Vossler G6. Hello, girl. I do like the Vossler G6. Great unit.
I did pick that up finally, not too long ago. I still haven't done anything with it. I'm terrible for that. Although, can I just say, I did uninstall the 187 because.
Oh, you did. You made a terrible mistake in even buying that piece of junk in the first place. I must say.
I wasted $6. No. I feel for the first time in really ever, I genuinely feel like I wasted money purchasing a Train Sim World DLC because one, it's very obtuse to set up. Two, the sound set is just garbage, and I don't feel bad saying that because none of the switches in the cab have sound. What?
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know.
how?
Yeah, I know.
How do you get, like, what? How do you not capture any sounds in your recording at
Yep.
all when you go out to record these things? Yeah, and the outside sounds are way too loud. They genuinely popped a pair of my speakers.
Oh no!
So
Oh,
I'm
my
very
word.
displeased. It's just a very loud, screechy sound that, it's annoying. It's a terrible DLC. I feel genuinely bad for buying it. And Skyhook, I love you to bits, but like, thank goodness you've improved since then, because that is terrible.
I'm on the finishing up screen and I didn't lose any points for speeding. Oh yeah.
I am 250 meters out from
Miltonburg.
Miltonburg.
Yeah.
Let's see how we do with our stop, and then I'll grab our score
Yeah.
here.
But
I
if
know
you-
you've won.
Yeah. Back to the 187.
Ooh,
Dovetail Games is
Bosslo.
making a
Nice.
BR147, which basically looks the same to the 187, but hopefully actually works properly. They're doing it as an add-on for Stuttgart Heilbronn.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I still haven't gotten the Frankenbahn yet.
Me neither, and I probably never will. The BR140 looks decent. The Wittenberger Sturwagen looks decent, but if I want a new freight locomotive, I'll just save my money and get the Expert 145.
That is pretty much my thoughts exactly. Coupled with, again, as a console player, there was some shenanigans with the layering when it was first released, and
Yeah, I
that
saw
was
that.
that was my first impression of the route. And unfortunately, it didn't really leave a good one, because the solution to fix it was to uninstall the Ludwigsbahn, which is my favorite German route. So I'm definitely not going to do that.
Yeah, having watched quite a bit of Ludwigsbahn content, I don't think I'll pick it up, even though it has a layer for the
I don't blame
Expert
you.
101.
I don't
The
blame you.
scenery looks a bit meh, and the ICE 3M not having the French safety systems is a bit of a deal breaker for me.
I agree. Not with your specifics, but I agree that it's probably a purchase on a sale, heavy sale, or don't purchase at all, because
Yeah.
realistically, I'm very, very optimistic and very, very willing to pass on a lot of things.
Me too.
The scenery's objectively not great. There's scenery clipping through the tunnels. Distant scenery's not terrifically good. For a route that has services running to France, and then the train doesn't have the French safety system, seems like a weird oversight. But more than that, it's not terrifically different from many of the other routes. And then
Yeah,
not
that's-
coming with any new stock really
Yeah.
doesn't offer you any kind of, like, what's the selling point if you don't get anything new, not even a different driving experience. But my score was 11,749.
My score was 12,364. 12,364. No speeding points.
I don't know if the golf claps are coming through.
They are coming
But
through,
I am
yeah.
doing golf claps. Sorry, no, that was a very, very, very hard-fought victory. I tried to catch up. I've got some good stops in there, but
Yeah.
that was a very fun drive.
Ooh,
And
what's my best stop? Hang on, I'll have a look. Ooh, okay, my best stop was 0.782 meters at Glanzstoffwerke.
okay, this is perfect. Same station.
Yeah.
That was my best stop. Would you like to guess if
Okay.
I went over or under your score?
Hit me.
Under 0.473.
Impressive! That is
Yeah,
really,
baby. That's
is-
a good stop.
that is
That's
impressive.
a really good
That is
stop.
a very good stop.
I'm quite happy with that. The rest of them, I'm not even going to say, but I took
Yeah.
a screenshot because I'm going to share that in my Discord. That's very impressive.
So yeah,
But
I'm
my
going to wrap
PlayStation's
this
yelling
up.
at me.
Yeah,
Yes,
since
lovely.
we're probably getting to the 1 hour limit for PlayStation recording that you have, Josh.
Indeed, we are. We've got like 2 minutes, but
All right.
play has no limits.
Yeah.
Lol.
So, yeah, that'll be all for this video. Do subscribe to my channel and to Melbourne's channel. He makes awesome content. And we'll probably be doing another race at some point in the future.
absolutely.
Stay tuned for
I
the
think-
next one.
Yes, definitely stay tuned. And thank you again, Matt, for the invite. This was very,
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
no worries, mate.
I'm sorry I had to delay it so many times.
Oh, well, I had to delay it because I got sick and it absolutely knocked me flat. You probably heard me coughing throughout the recording. That was me, just
No.
just still recovering.
It is good to see that you're on the mend, though. That is very good.
Thank you. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.